My name is Autumn Byers, and I'm here to explain to you the real art of Mexican cuisine. We've all been to Mexican restaurants where you sit down, have a Spanish waiter who says hola, you get your nice basket of warm tortilla chips, your hot salsa, and then you open the menu. It's full of burritos, enchiladas, quesadillas, fajitas. On the backside, there's the drinks full of tequila, daiquiris, margaritas, all sorts of delicious foods, and we really think to ourselves, wow, I'm having a real Mexican experience. Between your waiter, the menu, and the music, you think you're really there. But is that really what Mexican food is? The honest answer is no. In Mexico, that's not really how they eat. Real Mexican cuisine is not tortilla chips and salsa. It's not listening to mariachi music. It's not even burritos. I lived in Mexico for 6 months and not once did I see a single person eat a burrito. Real Mexican cuisine, according to History.com in 2013, includes staples of corn, beans, and a lot of squash. Sometimes there's sides of rice, and for dessert there's sweetbreads. For drinks there's agua fresca, horchata, fruit-flavored water, licuados, and of course there is the occasional tequila if you can afford it. But burritos and quesadillas? Not very often. But the truth is, in America, we're raving about Mexican food. Statistics by Rob Eater of Drugstore News in 2002 show that salsa outranked ketchup now in America as the #1 condiment selling in stores. Americans now eat 4 times as much Mexican food as they did just 20 years ago. And now the Mexican food industry is a $1 billion business in food. That's a big change from just a few decades ago. And it's because Mexican food is delicious. It's homey. It makes you feel warm and satisfied inside. But it's not what they really eat there. So what is it they're eating? Well, according to Kipple and Ordnos of Cambridge World History of Food in 2013, the main staple there is corn. Corn is used throughout the time and throughout the regions because it's a major crop. It gives them a lot of money and their soil and temperature is perfect to make it. So if you don't have a lot of money and then you have this abundance of food, you're going to make as much as you can with it. They use it to make their tortillas by hand. They use it to make their breads. They use it in soups. They grill it and they pour hot sauce on it, mayonnaise if you can believe it, and queso fresca, and eat it as a snack at night around a campfire sometimes. Trust me, I had to try it. Also, on a daily basis, they eat a ton of eggs because, again, it's very cheap. You buy a big bag of eggs and you cannot believe how many ways they will serve it to you. With salsa, with cheese, with beans. You name it, they've tried it. Beans, again, is another huge staple there. Again, you can make a huge quantity of it and serve a lot of people, and it keeps pretty well. And of course, their tortillas. Not a single meal goes without tortilla because they don't use regular kitchen appliances. They don't have spoons and forks there. Literally, the tortilla is the spoon and the fork, and everything else you use to eat. So how is the food cooked? Well, in every Mexican household, you will see 2 things. One is a very good molcajete. I got this when I was living in Cuautla, Mexico a few years ago, and it's basically their way of making salsa. It has all these little ridges that are hand carved into it, and this is where you use to grind up all the vegetables you put inside. This is literally a rock they found in the river. You can buy these, but a lot of kids will just go and look for them for their parents. You put the hot stuff in here that you need to make your salsas, and then you take this and you literally just do a circular motion and grind it by hand. And it makes a huge difference making it by hand. Also, in every household, you will find a tortillero. This is a tortilla press. You open it up, put the tortilla dough inside in between 2 pieces of plastic, close it, press it, and voila, there's a tortilla. You put it on the comal, heat it up, and you can eat them all day. The next day when they're stale, they're really good to make chips or quesadillas out of. But the real secret to Mexican food is their street food. Their taquilleras de mercado are absolutely incredible, and there's nothing like it here in America. According to Diane Ridge of Food Management in 2009, the best food found in Mexico is in the street and mercados. Mexican food is so much better than what we think it is here in the USA. She says when she was visiting, she saw corn, tortillas, cilantro, lime, onion, queso fresca, even peanuts. These are all wonderful foods and garnishes that you really don't see anywhere else. And the key is it's always fresh. If you go to the mercado, you're not buying last week's leftovers. Literally everything you see was picked that morning, carried early in the morning to mercado and sold. People go home and they cook it fresh that day because most people in Mexico don't have the luxury of a refrigerator to keep foods. So you go, you get your fresh food, you come home with your tortilla and the marcajete I told you about, and you make delicious meals for your family. That's what real Mexican food is all about. Getting it thin, getting it fresh, and bringing it home to your family to eat right away. But in the recent years, that's changed. The reason why is Americans are really impacting the way Mexicans eat. A lot of Mexicans do come to America, and when they get home, they bring the trends with them. So now some of them are starting to have a more Tex-Mex experience. The most popular thing you'll see there now is they are obsessed with soda. Every single time there's a fiesta, every time there's a party, every time there's any sort of gathering, there's going to be liters and liters of Pepsi. They drink Pepsi all day, every day. And granted, it's hot there, so it's a refreshing drink, but we know it's not very healthy for them. Unfortunately, it's something that we brought to them. But what did they bring to us? Again, according to Rob Eder of the Drugstore News in 2002, they brought their own trends. Now salsa is huge here. Tortilla chips are huge. Everyone goes out to Mexican restaurants. We all love our quesadillas. How many Taco Bells do you see in a given trip to work or school in a day? Now, Mexican industry is one of the leading food industries in this country. So we're both exchanging a lot of ideas, a lot of trends. Some for better and some not. America, unfortunately, is introducing processed and packaged foods to Mexicans. According to Kipol and Ornelas of Cambridge World History of Foods, in 2013, Americans are introducing packaged and processed foods in horrible quantities. Like I said, they used to eat everything fresh that day with their families, and now we're teaching them our bad habits and making them a fattier nation. That's not what they used to be. Their food used to be about their identity. It used to be about gatherings. It used to be about large quantities, but not for one person, to share with everyone. Food impacted their lives because it was all about being together. It was about having that family time, that bonding experience. It was about generosity. It's something that I hope continues because when I was in Mexico, that's what I saw and experienced. I saw kids sitting around a table passing tortillas around to each other. I saw parents handing scoopfuls of beans, just one little scoop to each person because more people would keep coming and wanting more. That's what it was about. It was about family. So I hope that we continue to learn from each other, but only in the best of ways. And I hope you learned today from me. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.